So let's talk a little bit about the nutritional benefits now. Just tell me a little bit about this.
Well, before I go into nutritional benefits, I guess I just want to re-emphasize some of the things Mr. Glasgow said. When I met him, we had a brief encounter, and he just kind of went over what his initiative was about. And immediately I got excited because I saw so much connection to the work of the council. And in sitting here for the last few minutes and listening to him describe his initiative more, it really confirms for me that he has done an amazing job of integrating cultural, biological, mechanical practices that really foster the whole recycling of resources and promotes a really good ecological balance and conserves biodiversity. And this is exactly what speaks to the concept of organic farming. And I think we need to have more of this concept emphasized in all methods of farming in Grenada. And the absence of synthetic fertilizers and chemical pesticides, that is what we really need to really look at, because at the end of the day, these things do have a direct role on the outcomes of our health. Again, it supports fully the locavore concept that the council has central to its work. Since 2012, the council has introduced the concept of locavore, and this concept speaks to a commitment to the consumption and production of locally grown foods, and that speaks to items such as honey. It speaks to poultry, fish, vegetables, the variety of what we consume. And in smaller islands like ours, this definition can be expanded into the region, because we are only 33 square miles big, and so it generally speaks to something more in the range of 100 to 250 miles away from where you actually live, your immediate community. So I really just want to commend Mr. Glasgow for this initiative, and just to see how very connected it is to the work of the council and other organizations within Grenada, like the Ministry of Health and Agriculture. So as we speak a little bit about the honey cane, I really like this idea. When he came to me and he said, he thought of the school children as a target audience for that. And I thought that's really an amazing strategy right there. Because generally, let's face it, the popular snacks that school children would make as choices on a daily basis include a lot of highly processed, imported things that have very bad fats. They're laden with sugar, salts, and fats. We're talking about the precursors to a disaster for health. And this is almost a daily habit in terms of choice making. And because there isn't these other healthy options, or they're not aware of it, they're faced with this challenge and this dilemma. Now, in looking at the nutrients in honey, I like to first start with the actual diet of the bees, which is basically pollen, right? And pollen contains a significant amount of nutrients, proteins and antioxidants and minerals, and the bees actually consume that, and that goes into the honey itself. Now, because Mr. Glasgow also has an amazing method of processing his honey, which ensures that it's not heated beyond a certain temperature so that these important nutrients are locked into it, then we can attest to the fact that this honey is a healthy honey that would deliver a bulk of nutrients to the body. Now, pollen in and of itself is known as a nutritive and an energy tonic. So he talked about the whole idea of energy, and we're looking at sustained energy. And Dr. Martin also spoke about the fact that these simpler sugars can be more easily absorbed by the body, and you can get that instant energy. Whereas you have something that is super processed, like a biscuit, a cookie with cream inside of it. Talking about, not only is it not going to sustain the energy, but you're also talking about the amount of the kind of garbage that goes into the body. You're looking at school children and their ability to focus and really be attentive in school and retain information and be successful in school. There's a direct role to what they consume and the outcomes in terms of learning and success in the classroom. So I think when we look at this and we're looking at the combinations of things he has paired it up with, we know that ginger is in Ayurvedic medicine, or Indian medicine as it's called. It's really considered like a universal remedy. And I don't want to overemphasize too much of what Dr. Martin says, but this class of compounds that's found in most of these spices and in honey are called polyphenols and flavonoids, which are exactly what Dr. Martin described, antioxidant properties that they have that fight against the free radicals that we come in contact with daily in our environment because of our equality in our diet, because of the things that we eat that are so toxic. And so having these combination of items in one food is amazing. It just actually increases the health benefit of the food. And in looking at the nutritional facts of all of these items there, the one mineral that stands out the most in all of them is potassium. And potassium plays a really important role in the cell and fluid of the body, and it really helps to control your cardiovascular health and your blood pressure. And it's just an amazing. I'm so impressed with the almonds, the high protein, the high dietary fiber. Almonds, actually, there was a study that was done, even though almonds are high in fat, but they're actually high in monounsaturated fat, which is the good kind of fat that you want to consume. And that fat has shown a role in actually decreasing your LDLs, or your bad cholesterol as we call them, and increasing your HDLs. Likewise, there is an antioxidant in there, vitamin E, that's very potent in almonds. And that again plays a very instrumental role in our cell, skin, health. And it's just amazing that he found a way to utilize our local almonds. One of the concerns that any consumer or any individual should have when they're sitting down to eat anything, or they're making a choice as to what to consume, is where did this thing come from? And he made reference to almonds and stuff in the eastern part of the world, and we have no idea what their farming methods are. Right. We have no idea whether these things are monitored, whether the standards are being followed. And generally, when we get things from these long distances, by the time they get to us, they're not as wholesome. In addition to that, we don't know what else has been added to preserve it. So we can't trust that we're getting a good, wholesome product at the end of the day. Now, I want to also commend Mr. Glasgow's choice of a preservative for his dried fruit, because we sat and we spoke about it. And generally, when you look at dried fruit on the market, sulfur dioxide is like the number one preservative used for dried fruit. And we know that can have some very harmful effects on the body. And especially if you have allergies or you are asthmatic, that can actually trigger, an asthma attack if you have too much of it. If you have an allergic reaction, you're talking about really bad news. Now, what Mr. Glasgow has used, he's then utilized another local item that we grow here, the lemon, packed with vitamin C. So he's ensuring that he adds more vitamins to this product and putting it into the honey sticks for the children. You're actually increasing the amount of nutrients, vitamins, minerals that go into that, and it's going to actually support satiety. You're not going to be as hungry as fast. You're not going to be needing to eat so quickly. All of these combinations of things, they really work well together to promote our health.
Okay, well,
I really want to jump in and add something there. We have an issue with men's health in the country now, where men are not doing very well, and presently I'm going around talking to a lot of men about health and so on. I'm really interested in Mr. Glasgow combination of almond and the honey.
Me too.
Because what's happening in there is that the burst of energy you get from the honey is actually very good for men's health. But interestingly, is the almond. There is a substrate in the almond that is very good for the production of male hormones that makes man a real man.
Good to know that.
So all the men who like to have broth on the block or Tanya log or what it is, that is nonsense, really. I can see, however, that this almond and honey together can seriously be a boost for men and men's health.
Okay, I hope the men are listening.
I am happy I came today. I learned something from Doc. So that's good. Now, one of the interesting things, though, I thought I was on to something good when I considered coming out with some Bourbon honey. Yeah, no joke. Because I could do ginger honey and cinnamon honey.
Yeah.
By extension, I am bringing. This is only for married men, of course. Only for married men.
How you want to stop somebody who's not married from purchasing it?
Well, we'll deal with that later. The decorator is, my intention is to serve married men, right? So you could get a little Bourbon Day honey. Coming soon, look out for it. Now, I want to piggyback on something Miss Cameron has said, right, about the lemon, the extra lemon. Now, what's going on is, in coming up with a mechanism to prevent oxidation, getting dark of the fruit, right, we had to add some natural acetic acid, right? I hope I said the right name.
Ascorbic acid, yes.
Right, right. So what we're able to give you, our viewers, or our people, our nation, is an opportunity to experience real mango. You're tasting the in it still, because we slice it thin and we dry it on the machine and we give you with a little of the lemon juice in natural form, right? And we're able to give you some the pawpaw dried, so you could get it in the honey, or you could also get from us the dried fruit package. Now, when I go to New York, I buy in dried apple, dried grapes, dry everything in health stores that simply selling all kind of dry thing. But mango waste in Grenada, there should be no more waste. And we should eat all the mango. Down in Trinidad, man, look, they cooking curry mango with the pieces of skin. You're thinking it's chicken bone. What happened to people in Grenada? As a little boy, Mama recommended, when you have the cold, take a little lime and honey.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know it works.
I
Because
still do it.
anytime cold coming, boy, I dash in for some lime and
we still
something.
do it.
Now I have honey. Well, it's lime and honey, but when I can't get the honey, I move it with some lime and sugar. Because we add the lemon, when we actually create that fruity mix, you're getting a double whammy. You're getting the benefits of the fruit, and you're getting also the little lime and honey. Right? So all things sweet. We spoke about the uses of honey, and I also want to bring in, appealing now to the modern conscious woman in our society. There is a concern now about skin, how your skin look, the tone, the touch, the quality. Did you know, my people, that mango give you beautiful skin? Probably you didn't, right? Is it the yellow stuff, the beta carotene? Right? That's good for you, right? Okay. Now, honey, there's a new trend now in spa treatments. So you see on the TV the rich painting their face with avocado and all kind of stuff to look good. Honey is now being added to the regiment of treatment, right? So we need to come up with the ways to make use of what we have, right? And honey does contribute to beautiful skin. You see, it's antibiotic, and it's also used for acne treatment, because it's the bacteria that go under the skin and give you the bumps, you know, right? So when you do that honey something scrub, right, you remove some of the bacteria, right, and help to give you good looking skin. Traditionally, honey was used as antiseptic, bad wounds. When you get serious burns, they put honey on it as a soother, because honey keep out the bacteria to help you heal. Right, so there are myriads of uses that we could come up to. Now, the folks way out in Australia produce a kind of honey called Manuka honey that has very high healing properties. Well, you can go to Australia if you wish. I say, man, look, come to Grenada, because in Grenada everything nice. The it's pure Grenada, right? I've jumped on it, and you're going to see our advertisement. Everything pure from Grenada, right? Pure honey, right? Pure goodness, right? Pure Grenada.
In nature, survival depends on following the leader. In business, market leaders survive. Introducing G-Link's Grenada honey, the leader in a new experience of sweet satisfaction. Pure honey, pure Grenada spice flavor honey, pure Grenada fruits in honey, pure Grenada nuts in honey, pure organic honey, pure natural honey, chemical-free honey, pure goodness, pure satisfaction, pure Grenada to the last drop.